I often get asked, how I got started in this business and, what caused me to do that or why do we do this? And, I guess everybody thinks there's a story involved with everything, and generally there is. I didn't do a briefcase for a long time when we started because I just didn't have any feel for anything that was different or unique enough to, for us to do it. And in my office, I had a 1870s or so U.S. Cavalry Army saddle, and it had an old saddlebag on it, the Cavalry Saddlebag. And I was just looking at it one day, and it just kind of struck me as, boy, that'd be a great looking briefcase. And this is what it looks like right here. You see, this is a Cavalry Saddlebag, and it got the U.S. on it up here and everything. And I just thought that was a real neat looking design, and I kind of like things with a little history to them anyway. So I just began to work on that design as being a briefcase. And I worked on it and had to put a handle on it and et cetera, and several things like that. And over a period of, I don't know, it might have been a year or two, I worked on it. I came up with this. So you can see the relationship to it. It's bigger and it's got a handle on it and everything. But anyway, so this was my prototype and what I came up with. So I didn't know if it was a good idea or not. And, it's a lot of expense in making something like that. So anyway, I had a trip planned to Salt Lake City, and I was going out to see the Robert Redford folks at Sundance Catalog. And I thought, I'll just take this briefcase with me and I'll just kind of get a feel for it and see kind of, how it does. Well, I got to Nashville, and as I was getting on the plane, there were two stewardesses standing there at the door, and they stopped me and said, wow, I like that briefcase. Said, where'd you get that? And I said, well, it's something new that I've made. And anyway, there was a lot of people in line, so they said, go ahead and sit down, and we get up there, we won't come talk to you about it. So they came back and visited with me a little bit, and they just really liked the bag, and of course that made me feel good, so anyway. But went to Salt Lake City, and on the way home, we landed in Nashville, and as we pulled up to the gate, everybody standing up, and I stood up, and there's an older gentleman behind me. He looked over at me, and he said, hey, man, where'd you get that old briefcase? And I said, well, that's something I kind of made up here a while back. He said, well, it sure does look good. I like it. So right there, it met two criteria, I guess. There was two pretty stewardesses liked it, and an old man liked it because it looked like an antique, and that kind of suited me as well. And from that point, that became a briefcase, and I went back and we put it together and started making them. So that's where the saddlebag briefcase came from. And just as to mention, this was the first one I made for myself, and this was in 2000, and I carried it till last year. I carried it for 23 years, the same briefcase. And this is what it looks like, 23 years old. And I believe in heirlooms and things that get handed down, and I think someday somebody will enjoy this bag as having some nostalgia to it. And also we have a plate inside here where you can put your initials and the date, and this one is dated. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember when I did it. So the date's important that we put it on there. And so that's the history of the saddlebag briefcase.